Hello, I'm Harvie S., and I'm here at Kolstein, NYC. Hello, I'm Harvie S., and we are here at Harvie's Corner in Kolstein, New York City, NYC. And we're located in the Essex Marriott Hotel on 58th Street, right near Central Park and Columbus Circle. This is a very special place, and this is a very special podcast where I interview bassists that are what I call the lifeblood of the New York music scene. They're bass players that play many different styles, many different venues, and they're all internationally known, and they play in Europe, they play in Japan, China, wherever. They've played all over. They've played with the greatest, and today we have a very special person, someone that actually, I don't know too many people that play with Wes Montgomery, and this is one of them, and his name is Ron McClure.
Harvie.
Good to see you, Ron.
Do you realize we've known each other for like 53 years?
Oh, God, you're making me feel old.
We are old.
We are old.
Okay. And that's Scotty's bass, if I'm not wrong.
That's Scott LaFar's bass.
I saw it when it was burned down to the shoulders.
Oh, you
Sam's,
did?
I went out to Sam Kolstein's place.
Oh, what a sad.
In '64 with Chuck Israels, and it was still charred. You know, he hadn't restored it yet.
Right, and they rebuilt it, and
I just saw it, and I just almost passed out when I saw it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's as close to it as I've ever been since then.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, we'll have you, after we're done here, you'll play a little bit on it.
Yeah, wow.
I think the bass is kind of calling you, saying you got to at least,
Yeah.
play me a few notes. So, yeah, so we're here, we could talk.
Yeah.
Like, what you up to?
Well, I mean, teaching mostly, and I'm writing a book with Kurt Ranker from Germany, who did the Richie Byrek, Dave Lieben book, Ruminations and Reflections, and we're in the middle of whatever my story. I've been writing since like the 60s when I was in Russia with Charles Lloyd. I had to start writing about it. So I've been writing ever since, and I told Kurt about it. He said, give it to me, we'll make it work, and we're making it work.
Oh, I look forward to that.
Probably a year or so off from being finished, but the big story, rewriting is what writing is really all about.
Wow. So yeah, it's like an autobiography.
Yeah, it's my stories, and as you know, I have a lot of them.
Yeah, I can imagine. You've seen a lot of stuff.
I'm old.
Yeah, but I mean, you saw a lot of stuff when there was a lot of stuff to be seen.
Yeah, well, I caught the tail end of the jazz scene. I got here in 1963, and there was still like Bill Evans and Miles Davis and Monk and Train and Sonny Rollins and all these bands. You could go see them. I actually played with some of these people and got to know them and could hear them anytime I wanted to, at that time. Yeah, and there were 3 bass players in New York then. Now there's like 3 on my floor,
Now there's 3,000 bass players in New York.
Coming out of the woodwork.
I know, and they can really play too.
Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that are frightening.
Yeah, I know, it's a new world.
Yes, everything has changed. It's continued to change, and it will always continue to change.
Yeah, exactly. But that's good. So you're doing all that, and you're still teaching over at NYU.
I've been there since '88. Yeah.
All right, and you teach some piano too.
I teach mostly piano. I mean, secondary piano, jazz piano. I don't teach classical piano, but I started on the piano when I was 5. So I mean, they gave me the bass in high school, which I never would have chosen, but they knew I played piano and accordion. They said, well, you're going to be in a band, but you're not playing that. So we need a bass player. Interested? And I said, sure. And then his phone started ringing like an hour later. I said, gee, this is great. I can get gigs and go out and have fun and play music and make money in high school. And it never stopped.
Wow, that's neat. Yeah,
Not yet. No.
Yeah, that's so cool. So, all right. Let's see. If you can remember this far back, when you were young little Ronnie, what drew, aside from the band director, you just said that, but like, give us your early work on the bass, you know, like what it was like. And because I don't think at the beginning you were really committed to the bass. It was more like something to do, but really what, you know, how did you develop into becoming like, you know, the world-class bass player?
Well, I was this kid in New Haven, Tommy Brazil, played tenor saxophone when we were about 15, 16. He sounded like Coltrane. And I,
Wait a minute.
And I heard this guy. He sat in with a group I was playing with, like kind of a
Is
pop.
he the jam session guy?
No, he never.
okay.
He never emerged from New Haven.
Then I'm
He
mixing
never
them up.
went anywhere. Unfortunately, he had issues, but he could play. And so I said, "What is this music you play?" So you have to get the new record by John Coltrane, Blue Train. I mean, it changed my life. Then I heard about the Cooking, Working, Steaming, and Relaxing. The same year, '56, Paul Chambers was 19. They made all 5 of those records, and that changed my life. I mean, he set the standard for how jazz bass should be played. I mean, compared to Ray Brown and Chubby Jackson, the people before that. And it was also recorded much better than any of those earlier records. So that grabbed me, and then I got to play with all kinds of people, you know. I came to New York, and it took me 2 weeks to get a gig and get my union card, play with Gene Bertoncini, Bob James, and Grady Tate at the Sniffin Court Inn, like steady gig for like 6 weeks.
Yeah, those are the days when there were steady gigs.
You can't
gigs
do that anymore.
6 nights a week, 7 nights a week, and a matinee.
For a month and a half.
Yeah, for a month and a half.
That doesn't exist anymore. I did it at the Consulate Hotel. I played opposite Paul Chambers for 6 weeks. I was playing with Ross Tompkins, and he was playing Ross Tompkins. I was playing with Mike, to play with Dizzy.
Mike Longo?
Mike Longo.
Oh, wonderful.
And I went up to Paul, and I shook his hand, and I said, you know, I'm a big fan of yours. He said, no, you're the cat. And we never looked at each other, said another word. That was it. He was in bad shape then, I think. And a year later, I took his place with Wes Montgomery and Jimmy Cobb and Wynton Kelly.
He was very young when he passed away, 31.
32, 30, something like that.
Yeah, I think
Doug
he was
Watkins,
31.
All those guys.
Yeah, well, Doug Watkins died in an auto accident.
Oh, he did? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Scotty, too.
But Scotty, of course.
And Wes Montgomery died when he was 42. Wynton was 39. Those guys checked out. So I was lucky to get to play with those people, you know, at that point. And then I went with Charles Lloyd after that, with Keith and Jack. When Cecil McBee left, right at the pinnacle of Charles's peak, you know, he had done the Monterey Jazz Festival record.
Yeah, that was a big
So I
hit.
got on that band because he had quit. I auditioned. Steve Kuhn got me the audition, and I went down there, and he welcomed me. Scotty Holt was who Jack wanted, and Keith wanted Gary Peacock. But Charles hired me, and that was like 3 or 4 years. That kind of put me on the map more than most things.
Yeah.
That's when I started writing the book. You know, we're in Russia. I mean, it was so dramatic. I had to write about it.
Yeah, Russia had to be quite a thing.
That was insane. I mean, it was.
That was when it was real communist.
I mean,
you know.
I mean, people were crying, and like, it was amazing. It was like, and I had my own KGB guy following me everywhere I went, outside my door.
Yeah.
Looked like Dick Tracy.
And they make sure they give you money. A lot of times they give you Russian money so that you have money. Because when I was over there, they'll like give you some money so that you don't change dollars.
Oh, really? No, I didn't do that. I didn't spend a dime there. I mean, I didn't know. I didn't have to either. But
there's nothing to buy.
No, I mean, there was no food either. We had we had vodka, white caviar, and dark bread. That was the only thing there was to eat worthwhile. You know, for 10 days, I was starving when we left.
Good place to lose weight.
Yeah, I did, but probably sure did.
But yeah, oh, that's amazing. Yeah, so yeah, that was a great band with.
Yeah, that was one of a kind. That was probably the Fourth Way and Quest after that were probably the closest things that I've done to it. I went from Wes Montgomery to Charles Lloyd. I mean, you know, from Jimmy Cobb and Wynton Kelly to Keith and Jack was like night and day.
But
I mean, a completely abandonment of all form and like tradition. Yeah. But it's still there, but it was like another level of playing, you know. And I found a way to make that work, and it was like the hardest thing I ever had to do really was to switch to electric bass and play rock and roll, because there's no songs like we know, and you're playing another instrument and you play the same pattern for like 20 minutes.
But you know, you have that 4-finger technique
Well, I played with the third. I used the Bottesini method, the belay, Isaiah belay, the studies.
I see. Use it like that.
I made this ring of tape I used to put over my hand to practice so these fingers would work as one. So that strengthened this finger. So when I play electric bass, I have all four.
That's what I mean. I saw you.
I mean, all the fingers are the same now because I've conditioned them. You know?
Yeah, I saw
But my brain still thinks in terms of three, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure of that. Yeah,
the electric bass is another animal.
Yeah, I know. I've been playing a little bit.
I've had my days when I felt good, and other times it feels like a foreign object.
Yeah. Oh God. So yeah. So tell us. I mean, you've had some. I mean, look at. I know you could go on for days.
Absolutely.
But give me a nugget. Give me a
nugget.
A nugget.
Well, I got to play with Thelonious Monk.
Oh, really?
For a month.
Oh.
Well, I mean, you were still at Berkeley.
Yeah.
That was 72. And Jules Colombi, who was Bobby Colombi's brother, the drummer of Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and he got me with both of those bands. Jules, who was a friend of mine. We used to go to Hall Overton's class at the New School, and Hall would have me come up and play piano. And they said, "Show them how you play piano. You're a bass player." Okay. We just audited that class together. So Monk came to Boston. I played Lenny's on the Turnpike, and then we'd play 2 weeks at the Vanguard, play 2 and a week at the Aqua Lounge in Philly. That was incredible. I mean, just to have been in the same room with that guy. He never said anything to me until I played a bowed solo on a Saturday night at the Aqua Lounge.
Oh, and he didn't like it, right?
Not at all. He came up to me the next day and he said, "Can you leave the bow alone?" Yeah, that's the only thing he ever said to me. And I said, "Yeah, Monk, sure, why?" He said, "The sound." I'm sure with the Barkus and Berry pickup I had with the bow, it was a nasty sound.
Yeah, he's...
Either that or it was the applause I got. I'm not sure which.
Oh.
It could have been a little, People seemed to like it. He didn't,
like apparently this bass player had a gig with him and said to him on the first night, he said to Monk, he said, I'm just joining the band, like, what, can you give me any advice? And Monk looked at him and just, make the drummer sound good.
His son was playing drums and Paul Jeffrey was playing tenor. Paul Jeffrey's the only one I really talked to. Little Rudy Tootie was probably 18 years old then, And Paul sent me some tunes that they were going to play. I knew most of them, but it was great. One night at the Vanguard, it was really happening, and Monk looked up to me, and our eyes met for the first time ever, and we both grinned from ear to ear because he knew this shit was really happening. That was a moment. That was a nugget.
That's a good one.
That was that was the moment when he really was into his thing.
Did Monk do any kind of crazy stuff when you worked with him?
We'd get up and walk around, sort of like Charles Lloyd used to do the same thing. I think he got that idea from Monk, actually.
Okay.
He'd do his little dance, and Charles Lloyd would be off to the side of the stage while Keith, Jack, and I were playing, and everybody would be watching him, like, doing his little dance. Monk did that, and of course people were watching that. He knew what he was doing. But Eddie Hutchinson said at the Mount Parnassus Hospital in San Francisco, they did a brainwave test on him. He said he was an unclassifiable schizophrenic. That they'd never seen brainwaves like Monk, ever.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he was on a different planet. Maybe different people delivered him from outer space than
I don't know. Yeah, because I mean, Monk. I'm always perusing his music.
It's not like anything else.
He really had a deep understanding.
And a unique understanding. He had his own thing. I mean, really more so than most people. I mean, his own language, his own way of playing the piano, flat-fingered, And his whole thing, his whole vibe was completely...
I heard that actually he could play really good classical piano.
I don't know. Possibly.
I think there is some recording where he actually could really do, but he just didn't. He was like one of these guys just didn't want to, like he says, I can do it, but that doesn't matter.
That wouldn't surprise me, actually.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize you got to play with Monk.
Yeah,
Wow.
just a month. I mean, I think that was the last time that he had a band of his own. Then he joined some all-star group, and he passed away shortly after that. But that was, I'd consider that like a gift from outer space or something. I mean, how many people have gotten to do that? I got to play one night with Miles. Herbie Hancock called me on a Saturday night to play the Vanguard. Joe Henderson, Wayne Shorter, Tony, and Herbie. Miles didn't show up. They didn't say a word to me. I have no idea to this day what we played, if they were playing tunes even. I have no idea. They just started to play. And Harvie came up to me after the first set and said, in this band, we strive for lightness. I mean, I was like playing the bass, like I'm panicked. I was like 20-something and playing with the band of the century and had no idea what they were playing.
And there were no charts,
no conversation. Nobody talked to me even. They just played. That's the way it was in the 60s. I mean, there was no music. I never saw any paper with Wynton or Wes or Monk. Now everybody has computer parts. You know.
Yeah, on the iPad.
Yeah, on your iPad, so you don't even have to carry paper anymore. You know.
Wow.
Things have changed, Harv.
Oh yeah, everything's going to keep changing.
You know it.
But you know, we just keep moving on. But somehow we're still there.
Do the next right thing. That's all you can do.
Yeah, we're still here. You know, and
yeah.
We keep, as I say, we keep playing jazz till the money runs out. You know. That's,
yeah, I'm in it for the money. If somebody asks me why I'm in it, you know, it's for the money.
So now, this is your first time at the shop.
I've never been in the shop. I didn't know it existed.
Well, that was kind of why I came in, because a lot of people didn't know this place existed. And now we've got a bass shop in the middle of Manhattan.
It's 30 blocks away
it's
from
been in business, yeah, and it's been in business 80 years. I mean, they know what they're doing.
I can walk here for 20 minutes, and I mean, it's magnificent. I mean, unbelievable. You know, I'm shocked and delighted to know that there's a bass shop like this.
Yeah, you can get your bass repaired here.
Yeah.
You can get your bow done. You can, you know, get strings, rosin.
Yeah.
You know, their rosin is great. You know,
really?
Barry makes the best rosin.
Well, I need some work on my Homolka, my 200-year-old Czech bass.
Barry is
a crack that he's got.
Barry does beautiful work.
Yeah. I don't know if I can afford it, but.
No, well, his prices are no different than anybody else. I mean, nothing is cheap nowadays.
Yeah,
I don't have to tell you that.
No kidding.
You know, just go to a store and buy a sandwich.
Yeah, I paid $14 for a sandwich this morning.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, and the place down across the street, it would have been 25.
It's no, everything's gone up. So I mean, of course, bases are going to go up.
Yeah.
Everything you buy, but Barry takes good care of, especially people like you who are the real pros. You know, he takes good care of you.
I will be coming here with whatever work I need and for supplies that I need.
I'll make sure that everything goes.
That's great.
Goes well.
No, you have a relationship. I knew Sam, but I don't know Barry.
Yeah, but Barry doesn't own. Barry only does the repair work, and he doesn't own it anymore.
I heard you say
Manny
that.
Alvarez owns the shop, and
Okay.
he's responsible for getting this thing into Manhattan.
Yeah, I'm surprised. In this
I was shocked.
In this neighborhood, I mean, he
I
said
was
Essex
amazed.
House. I mean, that's like we're staying against the.
I didn't think you could rent a telephone booth in this area.
Yeah, no, I can't.
I mean, this is like amazing to have this beautiful shop.
The average rent in New York is $4,000 a month for an apartment. I mean,
Yeah.
So you can imagine what this space.
I can't even
goes-
imagine.
Well, he
but
has to make a lot of money to pay for this.
He's doing it,
Yeah.
and it's you know, catching on and doing well. But I'm glad you know about it now.
Yeah, I will know.
And
it.
tell your students.
Yeah, I'll pass it on, of course.
You know, and you know, because this is, and we do events here. I do this jam session, and you know, I pick out instruments, and then I want to start this New York Bass Club, and of course you got to come.
Oh yeah.
And that we haven't exactly established it yet.
Well,
but I'm working on it.
We need some stuff like that to bring people together.
Well, today's been amazing because, you know, today's the taping day.
Yeah.
And there were points where 3, 4, 5 bass players were here at the same time.
At the same time.
And it ended up a super hang.
That would be, I mean, that's what I'm looking for, is like hanging out with all those people and talking at the same time instead of one-on-one. I mean, that would be, with the cross-talking, that would be amazing.
Well, that's going to happen. So I'm working on that now. And so that's it. Anyway, thank you so much for coming, and always great to see you.
Always great to see you. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's a privilege to be part of this.
Same here. Great to have you.